Cafeteria? Cafeteria west on the top floor. No, that's east, sorry. East on the top floor is a hiss restriction. You can see how that noise becomes annoying. We check everything on this side. Before I go further. Oh, we got some help. Checking my lines, or my angles. So talk in SWAT, I think. Yeah, whenever those red beams, that typically means that you've got company. Right, I can shoot. Where is he? His barrier. What do we know about the His barrier? His barrier. The His resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. His barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. The two methods have been discovered for lowering them. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. Destroy the His entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of His resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of His resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the His? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the His? To what degree is it watching and planning? Refer to file blank for full report. Compiled by Emily Pope, Research Specialist, by order of Director Faden. Okay. So when you start a combat scenario, typically you can't go back to a previous room because there's like a red wall, and that's what the resonance or the His barrier is about. Also, there's a little bit of a loot there. Health recovery. Where is that coming from? Let's check this out. Health recovery. What is this? 22% versus 20%. So let's equip that. So now we are at 22%. And what you can do with previous ones is you can press F to deconstruct. Okay, that was it. Also, goodies. Ammo refund. Weapon mod. Ammo refund chance on hit plus 5%. Exclusive to spin, shatter and grip. I think spin, shatter and grip is a different weapon form, so this one is called the grip. Okay, I'll just get these. Undefined reading. So we came in via that corridor up there. You have to keep your bearings in here. It gets a bit overwhelming at times. These speakers. Oops. Control. Havana summary. Case files. An order AWE 48. An auditory event occurred at the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. Blank deaths were reported and the outgoing information has been managed. Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been blank. Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for blank minutes. No visual phenomena was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off and the embassy staff were transported to the continental US. After Formula I-.9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as an altered item. The item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. See case file AI85 for details. ID AWE 48, event date 9th or September 23, 2017, Havana, Cuba. Okay. Oh. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to make a note. So there is a shelter. All these places I can't access. I'm going to come back to later, I think. Shelter. Lower. Cafeteria floor. Is what's that? Mold-ish? Mold? I've not gotten as far in the game that I know what to do with mold. Let's try this. Good. Health back, thank you. So yeah, those blue dots on the ground is health. Cavalry stuff. Ah, there we go. Making noises. Oh, there we go. Unstable area notice. Please be aware, due to recent fluctuations in the nearest control point, this area's stability has been downgraded to yellow. Reference chart. Green is stable, yellow is low possibility of unanticipated building shift, orange is high likelihood of unanticipated building shift, red frequent unanticipated building shift. I think that might be the warning lights we see above doors. Nothing in there. What's up here? Docks. Ah, walled off stuff to the central exit. Okay. Communications department. Dead letters. Walled off. Look at this. Okay. I think some of them are actually just agents that doesn't respond to anything, but some of those that look like they're wearing uniforms are actual just that boom. I think these will respond to being shot. Yep. What? No. Don't throw grenades my way. Watch my corners, watch my corners. Hello? What is this? Wow. Machine guard. So this department or area is called a dead letter. So in terms of correspondence, dead letters. I had a dream and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know or the ones anyone knows. A new God. This machine will be his body, his heart and his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I use the motor for the refrigerator and the coils for my toaster and the fans plus the timing belt for my car's engine and the wheels for my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like a baby's, but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me at the address on the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Okay. Like all these red areas. Unstable building shifts area. Okay, lots of stuff over here. I can't see anything. House memory. I think we got house memory already. Yeah, lots of it. 9. And on this side, what's this? Singing fish is Mr. Governor. I called the police but they never come to my house. I got a problem and you got to send folk to fix it. I got my wife, one of them, singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish, it sings when you hit the button. But it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs. Says lots of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish and you got to come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. Singing fish. Okay. These operations. His life is in your hands. Shatter projectile boost. Exclusive to shatter. Projectiles fired +2. So when we got new weapon types, we can use those. I just see. Yeah, I did. Someone coming up from behind as well. Eesh. Yeah, you have to do a bit of running battle sometimes. Oh. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's running away. Let him run. Still someone around. Where are they? Where are they? Ah, I can't aim! If only I could aim, right? The guy closer, the guy closer! We can do this, we can do this. Ugh. Yeah! Where are they? Where are they? Plug in. Oh, there's a guy. I wanna aim. Yeah, I got hit there a few times. Can't go in there yet. I think I have to lift the lockdown. Maybe I should lift the lockdown thing. Stabilize the control point. My voice in my head is telling me to do. Navigate. Mission updated. Navigate through the communications department. Cleanse control points to gain access to fast travel sites throughout the oldest house. Hello. Yeah, so now we've unlocked the second fast travel point. Sweet. Escape. That's communications. Okay, we'll have to go there, but I just want to see if we've unlocked the door down below now. At least it's not red anymore. Yeah. Should be alright. Explore a bit. Dead presidents. Dead presidents. To whom it may concern, I am being contacted by the past presidents of the United States of America. They appear as spirit guides, giving me their wisdom. John Adams keeps saying I need to fix America, but I can't really understand him. They all have a lot of opinions. People tell me I'm imagining it, but Theodore Roosevelt showed me how to fix my lawnmower, and I don't know a thing about lawnmowers. Explain that. I have great dead men telling me about the past and the present. If you'd like to use my abilities to help run the government, please let me know. I know the White House could use me. Yours in earnest, James Bartholomew. Let's work hard. His life is in your hands. Everyone's safety depends on you. Okay, so we've cleared that. We have cleared that. Just double check. A bit more light on the back here now. I think we've cleared these as well. Ooh, wait, no we haven't. Trench, dead letter approval. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that the research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. P. Bartwell. To Z. Trench from P. Bartwell. Subject Department Approval. So this is a new department from the previous director. Or the director before, as such. Can we go up? Need to check upstairs as well. After we check downstairs. Book Club Penny. Book Club Penny. Hello avid readers, the Bureau Book Bunch will convene at the usual spot in the corner table of the cafeteria at 5 PM on Tuesday, currently discussing Unless You by J.D. Brooks. Everyone should get their reviews to me by Monday before lunch so I can generate some conversation starters before the meeting. Happy reading, Penny Bartwell. Okay. Book Club.
It's like the actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Topher. We'll find your mama together.
This is a little bit creepy. The way that ended as well. We find your mother together. Okay. Anything on the tables here? Nope. Okay, so we cleared the lower area. Anything here? No. Oh, there's something up there. What? Yeah. No. Undefined reading. Collectibles. What did we get? Ah, threshold kids missing mama. The one we just watched. Okay, so that was the access point. Okay, so here's a clearance level 2. Let me get where this is. Dead letters. Dead letters. Mid for east, northeast. Level 2 clearance door. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a lot of these. You can access this later. Please come back. Okay, so nothing there. That's not accessible at any point, I think. Over there. Nothing on the top. Check. No, I didn't look that way. Nothing there. Okay.
Communications. We're on the right track.
Oh, we need to go in there shortly.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle. It is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. OOP. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
Even launched a cup. Super powerful, man. Okay, so that was that one. Okay. Whoa. I see you there. One more. There we go. Okay. The other thing that I've sort of very near the end of my previous playthrough managed to actually do is get to those higher floors. I'm gonna just make a note of those. So dead letters, high floors. That doesn't got stairs to access it. Okay, we'll come back. So, let me just do a quick save. Go via communications. Check out the loot. Might be loot. No loot. Okay. Blood trail gives you an idea of where you need to go. What's over here? Welcome to the comms department. We are here to help, maybe? Reminder to all staff. Okay, we've read that one. Book club. Don't bring dogs into the office. Some of us have allergies. Okay. There we go. Leaks. House memory. Yeah, I'm just checking my ceilings if there's anything hidden upstairs. Oh, look that one. Nothing there. Yeah, this game's got pretty good graphics. Whoa. Pneumatics. That reflection, man. Okay, we can't get it. That's the barrier that I was talking about. So there's enemies. There's these resonant enemies nearby that we can't deal with, or we have to deal with before we can go further. Okay. Book club, Samson. House of memory. Okay. Book club, Samson. Book club notes for Penny by L. Sampson. So I don't usually read a lot of sci-fi, but as far as space operas go, this was alright. The title, Unless You, could refer to a bunch of things in the book, I guess. But I thought it was a little vague and stupid. The way the characters kept throwing it around almost like a catchphrase got real annoying real fast. The best part of the story was the space battle. I sided with the Fixers, obviously, because they had the coolest tech, and their motives made the most sense to me. Honestly, if I had to choose between some hoity-toity flowers and guns, space hippies, or a badass bunch of warriors who go around devouring planets like cheap sushi on a Sunday, I know who I'm picking. That scene where they invade City Planet and convert the entire population using those brainworms, and that space dog fight between those two ace pilots, sign me the f up. What kind of ruined the whole thing for me was when my favorite character got killed not even halfway through the story by getting a battery cylinder launched into his face by gravitational anomaly. His death didn't feel necessary at all. 2 out of 5. Okay, multimedia, what did we get? Ah, floppy disk. Yeah, so we just watched the floppy disk one on the TV.
Object of power. Looks like the hiss have latched onto it. We need to cleanse it.
See, to crouch behind. I lost some health being a bit slow there. Run! Ugh. Crouch. If we don't die, because we are slow. Get it, Jesse, you can do it, Jesse, you can do it. There we go. floppy disk nuke can be bound to gain launch/telekinesis. Teach us to believe, Director.
It's harder to hear you when I'm here. It's like the channel's been changed. The board's in charge here. They're pyramids in the Bureau seal. Are they really the ones pulling the strings? I'm not their director. I'm no one's director.
Hold E to grab highlighted objects, release E to launch. Nice. I'm gonna take a short break there. Go to the bio and I'll be back in 2 to 5.